You're watching Drakewing Gaming. Enjoy the video.
Hey guys and gals, Nary here from Drakewing Gaming. It's 70 minutes to the Gaming Drag. Today I'm coming back at you into the Let's Play episode of Beyond the Harbor. So yeah, before we jump into it, just wanted to let y'all know that our Patreon is now up for as little as $5. Y'all can help support the channel, get some awesome rewards like permanent access to our community Discord server and full access to upcoming Not Safe for Work videos. And we all, let's go ahead and jump right back in. Alarm chain, you were up, and let's go. Alright. God, I'm pulled away from my trance as I'm gently shaken by my friend. You hanging in? You hanging in there? You look not great. Sorry. I'm worried about Trev. I cough, attempting to refocus my thoughts. He's been in the bathroom since we got here. V tilts her head. It is odd, yeah. She leans forward, pressing her body into the table, just enough space to squeeze past her. Why don't you go check on him? I nod, standing up and sidling my way around the massive bear. Yeah, good idea. Sam snickers as I emerge back out into the open seating area. Well, if Ollie's heading off, it looks like we're gonna have some quality alone time. Yuck. Swing and a miss, buddy. I push open the heavy bathroom door with my knuckles. I have vague memories of this door always being gross on the outside. Sure enough, my right hand is sticky now. Wonderful. The faint yellow hue of the room is somewhat ominous on the top of that, as the overbearing fluorescent lights beat down on my skin. It's sort of a mini bathroom, only one stall and a urinal. Wonder if anyone else has come in here to contest Trev's spot. Speaking of Trev, there's a faint weeping echoing from the stall. It couldn't be anyone else. I step a bit closer to the door. Surely he heard me come in. I cough politely, hoping maybe he'll notice and I don't have to call out for him. He still just sobs, though. Damn it. I turn on the sink, keep on scrubbing the years of filth stain on my knuckles. That one sounds a lot cooler if you forget it was just sticky bathroom door residue. With the faucet off, I flick a bit of water with hanging onto my fingers back into the sink. I place my hands underneath the air dryer and it springs to life, blowing the water away. It doesn't take long to achieve total dryness. Thank God for these things. Even after it's done, though, I'm still only sobbing from the stall. Not particularly keen on interrupting him, I lean up against the sink and jam my hands into my pocket. Shortly after, I begin to feel the water I flung all over the place soak into my back. Whatever, it'll dry. The hum of the vents above isn't helping the ambience at all, really. It feels like something sinister is living above. I couldn't imagine how spooky this place is at night. But I'll just say something to him. Hey, Trev? The weeping silences itself with a quiet gasp. It's just me. We were worried about you. Are you okay? Yeah. The stale bathroom air thickens as silence persists, only broken by an occasional sob from the iguana. I'm sorry I worried you. It's okay. I cut him off entirely before he manages to apologize. We sit there for a bit, awash and awkward. Second, y'all. Alright. His breath is quiet but noticeable. He's hurting, not sick. I can see his lower half underneath the stall. He's fully clothed and sitting on the floor. His scaly arms are wrapped around his legs, pulling himself into an upright fetal position. As much as I'd like to follow up on toning down the apologies, I can't bring myself to speak again. Everything feels wrong. I don't like this. If I had to guess... Yo, you guys touching pee-pees without me in there? My thoughts are interrupted as Sam bursts into the formerly quiet room, slicing the atmosphere in half with a precision strike. I grasp at the air, flexing my arms in a furious manner. I managed to avoid screaming, thankfully, but Trev? V took off a minute ago. The fuck's taking you so long? Does Trev have the shits? There's another rustle in the stall, and I open my mouth to speak, but... Give me a second, Sam. I'm coming. The toilet flushes, and I hear the sound of his creaking bones come from the other side of the stall. His body is agonizing over moving again. I stand up and walk towards the iguana, but he shakes his head to keep me at bay. Sorry. There's a loud pop in his hips as he saunters over to the sink. I look over at Sam, who simply shrugs. The drive to the bus terminal is awkward, but thankfully short. Sam and I banter back and forth a bit while Trev stays silent in the back seat. His silence is magnifying the pain tenfold, and we're both feeling it. Trev has a profound effect on people, and we've been caught in his gravitational pull. We find some measure of relief as Sam pulls the car into park. Alright, you remember how to get there, Ollie? I think we take a left at 4th, and then a right? Yeah, the station is... I remember. I'm waiting here for you, but you never came. It's just off Main Street. Cool beans. Let's get a move on, then. Last thing you want to do is piss V off more, huh, Ollie? Ignore the cat, locking eyes with the iguana instead. I'm doing my best. Can you see that, Trev? Yo, V! As we approach the terminal, Sam's already caught up to her. My short legs usually lead me to lagging behind, but keeping Trev on pace has only exacerbated the issue. Finally, there you guys are. We approach her, standing at the center section. After our short time apart, we're reunited again. Nope, we're still missing one. Sam and V argue over something, but I tuned them out a minute ago. My body's been racked with severe something for the last few minutes. I don't know what time it is, but something in my head tells me it's fast approaching. I stare down at my hands. The shadowy fingers have begun wriggling through my right hand, and I attempt to make the same gesture. Sure enough, as I do more emerge. It's a strange sensation. I can feel them, and yet I can't. I don't care anymore. My brain's been racing a mile a minute. Thoughts screaming out at me from every crevice of my mind. You know? It's difficult, but in time I manage to quiet them down as well. My thoughts go blank, however, as a single scrawny arm raises slowly from my body, pointing its gauntly fingers towards the curb. At least I think they're pointing, and the hand's gesture is difficult to read, being cloaked in somewhat translucent shadow. In time between thoughts, another hand rises to meet it, and another, and another. The hands all point in the same direction, and mine follows them in turn. My own finger marks a spot along the curb of the central terminal, where a long bus is slowly pulling in. Eh? V turns to me, then looks to where I've been pointing all along. What's up, Ollie? Is that the one? I don't know how I know it, I just do. The blue bus I'd specified exhausts loudly as it pulls into a full stop. Slowly the doors open. A man steps up, followed by some young-looking kids, a woman in a suit, and a few more men. Then the flow of people stops altogether. My heart sinks into my stomach. It couldn't be. I was so sure where could he... I'm closing the door and moving on if you don't get off now. I barely catch her mumbling something along the lines of goddamn hyena trash under her breath. Yeah, Christ, give me a minute to get my stuff together. Your stop was announced a minute ago. You had plenty of time to do so. So you tell me, you think you have a right to hold up my job? Fuck, isn't it your job to get people around? Isn't that what the government pays you to do? The driver opens her mouth to speak, but a furred arm reaches into viewing distance with a finger raised to silence her. I know that arm. If his voice didn't make it obvious, it certainly did. I'm leaving. And don't think I didn't hear that shit you whispered. Oh, it's Dom. Dom who? Oh, it's a Jigglypuff. Hyena boy. Nice. Don. Hmm? The hyena and I make eye contact, the uncomfortable sort that harms the soul. He looks entirely different from the image that had been floating in my head for these years. Even if his face is the same, he looks older. We'd only made eye contact for a second, that's all it took. Huh. His hair is different, his outfit, his face is still the same, though. I hear Sam whistle beside me, admiring the view. How about that? That's not the train wreck I remember. The polar bear, meanwhile, simply shakes her head as he approaches. It doesn't matter what he looks like now, he's still the same Dawn. I turn my head back to face Trev, but he isn't even looking. His eyes are where they usually hang out, the ground. Huh, didn't I bring him in as backup? Dawn's eye only locks with mine for a brief moment before they transition fully over to the bear's. She glares back, gaze hardening to that of steel. Defying belief, his expression becomes even more sour. The two seem to have a mental battle for minutes, hours, days. It couldn't have been more than a few seconds since Don admits defeat pretty quick. He closes his eyes and shakes his head. Yikes, what did I miss? Don't worry about it, here he comes. Sure enough, his slow saunter towards us has begun, and he keeps his head low as he walks, walking forward a bit. Never broke that habit, I guess. He stops just before reaching us and jams his free hand into his pocket. His eyes lock right back into V's. There's an uncomfortably long silence as I try to force myself to say something, when suddenly Sam... Well, look at you. Hardly the scruffy hyena I remember. I'd assume you were an imposter if you didn't have his attitude, too. He scowls, narrowing his eyes. So... yeah. She folds her arms. I didn't plan for this. You didn't tell me he had a party when we met up an hour ago. Sam gives a cutesy smile, waving at the Hyena as Trev's expression shifts further away. Don just rubs his snout in response, sighing aloud. I had a fucking feeling this was gonna be what went down. He turns back to V, lifting his chin. Whatever. If it were any other circumstance, I'd assume you were just trying to keep me out of it. He thrusts his free hand back into his pocket, turning his gaze back over to Sam. There's a brief glare before he shakes his head and sighs aloud. Last face I thought I'd ever see again, this handsome fucker. Sam smiles, shrugging off the obvious sarcasm with a bit of poison of his own. Ho! I could say the same to you. Your face is so much prettier without that dopey hair hanging in your face. It's like one of those watch who you call ugly in middle school memes, but... The cat pauses for a second. Sorry, let me do that again. It's like one of those watch who you call ugly in middle school memes, but... The cat pauses for a second, rubbing his chin. Never mind. Don scoffs and shakes his head. Whatever. He then turns to the silent iguana, not so easily forgotten. In an unexpected turn of events, however, his steely gaze softens. You got roped into the mess too, huh, Trev? Trev hangs his head lower in response, trembling a little. Don breathes in slowly and exhales a long breath through his nostrils. Sorry you got dragged into this, Trevor. Closes his eyes before refocusing his gaze once more and turning past me entirely. Alright, tell me. V tilts her head. What? The plans. The fuck we doing about this? The bear narrows her gaze, pursing her lips a bit. I don't... We ought to catch up somewhere. I'm sure you've got some stories from the last 4 years, huh? I really rather wouldn't. You know why I'm here. He pauses, further sharpening his brow. Not for whatever the fuck this is. He gestures towards us with his free hand. But what are you gonna do until tomorrow, then? And where are you gonna stay? Not with me, that's for damn sure. His eyebrow twitches as he is shot down before he could even ask. Not sure what you were expecting there, bud. Oh, the fuck you say staying, Catboy? The cat's smile curves upwards, expanding its pointed edges to the very top of his cheeks. He doesn't know. Look at this lad. The cat chuckles to himself before responding. I'm staying with Ollie. He was kind enough to let me board up with him on short notice. Maybe if you asked really nice, he'd let you stay with us too. I'm not doing that. Period. I'd rather sleep in a fucking alley. Ouch. Yeesh. You got any other kind words? Want to spit on Trevor too? Don's expression intensifies suddenly, and his anger flares more intensely than before. The fuck you think you're doing dragging him into this? Trevor. Really? Fucking Trevor Ward. You know, you should know better. He slits his eyes, pointing at me. You forced him out here, didn't you? Don's gaze is as fierce as any I've ever seen, and to have it turn so suddenly on me. I know you rat. Trevor wouldn't... Please! Don's eyes shoot from me to the one who'd interrupted him, never losing any intensity. Trevor couldn't possibly handle that. I'm fine. The iguana chokes back tears as he tries to defend himself. I don't blame... Alright, y'all. I'm gonna pause it right there. Thank y'all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell, and check out our Patreon if you can. It always helps. Alright, y'all. I'm gonna head out. Y'all have a wonderful evening. I love you all, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye-bye!